What's going on, world? Coming at you guys again. We got another quick video. Iran. Let's talk about it. We are at a pivotal point where President Trump indicatively, deciduously, and intelligently decided to make an action against the country of Iran. Not against the people of Iran, but against the country of Iran. Because on the surface, yes, we were concerned about the military capabilities of Iran with their continued vitriol of anger and aggression towards America and its allies in that region. But there is a deeper problem here. And I want to speak to all of my Americans, all of my fellow Americans. I'm speaking to you. That specifically includes also every member of the Democratic Party. I know we don't see eye to eye, and I know historically that I've been targeted based off of personal vendettas and acts of revenge through the basis of insecurity. But we are at a point in period of time now to where we have a make or break moment for our country. President Donald Trump is moving America forward. He is thinking about every American citizen. I understand that currently there is turmoil, there is strife and pain, specifically at the checkout when you utilize your debit card or cash, as well as the safety and concern of your fellow American in the military. But I must remain adamant that our necessity and mission in Iran is of the utmost importance. The future of America as we know it holds in the balance. It hangs in the balance. It is in the balance, lest we repeat historical actions of the past. These actions would be relatable to the Civil War. These actions would be relatable to internment camps against American citizens. These actions would be relatable to specific groups of individuals whom have fought for generations to not find themselves in a position in which they were being ostracized, categorized, classified, and disenfranchised, and often murdered. We are at a point in time to where I understand all of my fellow Americans, you are holding on to the premise, to the perspective of accountability in action. And I understand that. But now is not the time. Certain measures need to be put in place to prevent it from reoccurring. I totally agree. But we are not at the point and period of time right now for full-scale accountability. Because if we were to do so, unfortunately, our society, our country, our civilization, our culture would be similar to that of Viltrum. So, it is with hard shoulders that I must ask each and every one of you to support President Donald Trump's action in the Middle East so that we don't have to use a nuclear bomb. Because I don't believe it's necessary. I believe we have the intellectual capacity and capability to facilitate this measure to reduce the amount of casualties as possible. We as Americans have come out multiple times, specifically issuing out problems against individuals whom are utilized through H-1B1 visas because we feel as though that we have the competence and competence and intellectual capacity right here in America. Well, now is the time to show it. Now is the time to back, support, and defend President Donald Trump with the initiative and which is currently at hand with Iran. We cannot wait. We have to continue to push forward. What people don't understand is even when God created the planet, some things had to be torn down and molded in order to begin anew. Through friction, through pressure, great things come. Great things are created. And these things happen to be the United States of America. Without the actions historically of our forefathers and founding fathers, to include the many of Americans whom lost their lives along the way, we would not be where we are today. We must continue to push forward. It is time for America to unite. The unfortunate reality is we are in a point and period of time to where we may be so caught up with pursuing actions against those whom have done wrong instead of looking at the whole picture. And this is why I believe that the action of conquest is at hand and it is time. I believe personally, based off of the actions which we have seen with Russia and Ukraine and Russia and Crimea and the actions of China with the threats of Taiwan, America needs to push forward to bring Iran into the fold and make it a territory. And if necessary, we also would probably have to do the same thing with Ukraine. America has to continue to push forward because we are the tip of the spear. This is the reality. And unfortunately, sometimes we also have to be the shield. It is a hard job to be a parent. It is a hard job to be the leader. But I want to remind all of my Americans, nothing achieved is done so without the grit and without the practice and endurance of perseverance in order to facilitate greatness. Keep this in mind, because at the end of the day, we have two options. Either we were going to push outward to facilitate security, safety, and growth, or we are going to push inward for safety, security, and stability. I hope you all choose the latter by recognizing that it is Americans who are leading the way. It is Americans and America that has the most diversity on the planet. And since we are all God's children, America is primarily the only country that is practicing integration.